It's great to be here. So just to make sure we are all on the same boat, every time there's a new slide or a new animation, I'm going to say next so that we all can keep up with the presentation, okay? Great. So my name is Jose, I'm the CEO of Zoomyard, and we are a global marketplace to book professional photographers and filmmakers online. So next. Nowadays, photographers and filmmakers struggle to find their clients as much as clients struggle to find the perfect professional. Next. So Zoomyard was born to resolve this problem. Next. So as you see, we are a marketplace where our clients can go and post their jobs to our professionals community, or they can search for professionals according to their preferences and post their jobs directly to the professionals. The professionals will then bid on the different jobs, and the clients will choose the perfect match for their services. Next. So basically, we are also a platform to showcase creative work. As you can see by the pictures, our professionals can upload their portfolios and create their profiles, organize all their work, and show their work to the world. Next. And we are social as well. So basically our platform is based on recommendations and reviews from all our clients. Our professionals can follow and like other professionals' works, and everyone can basically see the number of views, the number of comments, follower likes of each professional. And finally, we are also a one-stop spot. Next. Once the job is awarded, everything, are we all on the same slide? Just to make sure. It's called We Are a One-Stop Spot.
Yeah.
Yep. So once the job is awarded, everything can be managed through the platform, from initial communication, payments and invoices, final work delivery, etc. So let's look now at our how we differentiate from our competitors. Next. So basically, in Brazil, there are two main competitors, Busque Fotógrafo and Get Ninjas. They are both marketplaces, but differently from us, they do not work as a showcase platform for professionals to showcase their work, and they are not social. And these 2 points is also what differentiate us from two big American competitors, which are SmartShoot and ImageBrief. We also consider two other competitors, Behance and Production Paradise. Although they are not marketplaces, they also work as a platform for photographers and filmmakers showcase their work. And although they have a different business model, we also consider them as competitors. So next. Looking now at our business model, we charge 15% commission of each service booked through the platform, plus an annuity of our premium professionals accounts. Next. Looking now into the markets of photo and video production generates around $1.7 billion in Brazil, and in the US this market is roughly 5 times bigger than the Brazilian one, generating around $6.7 billion annually. Next. I'm going to skip the acquisition channel slide. We can go back to it during our Q&A session. So if you go to the next slide, we now look at our customer acquisition costs versus our customer value. So basically we compiled an extensive list of around 600, 700 keywords, and we got an average cost per click of $0.51. If we assume a conversion rate between 1.25% and 2%, we get an estimated customer acquisition cost between $26 and $40. As taking into account our commission is 15%, we get a minimum average ticket. We need a minimum average ticket between $173 and $266. As we know, most of the tickets for photography and video services are way higher than these ones. Looking now at our financial projections and our 5-year monthly net income, we expect to achieve break-even in the Brazilian market after 2 years, and we expect an annual net income of $1.1 million on our 5th year of life. If we extrapolate this to the American market, as I said before, this can be up to from 5 to 6 times bigger than this number. Next. So basically our capital needs to achieve these values, we are looking to raise $250,000 in 3 different cycles. Basically $50,000 now for product development and start clients acquisition, $100,000 in 6 months time to expand the team and start corporate clients acquisition, and $100,000 in 12 months time to mainly spend on administrative costs and continue with the users acquisition. Next. We did some validation, but the main idea here that I wanted to share with you is that we are currently working with 5 registered users on our private beta, and we are building a Facebook community of around 50, we already have around 1,500 active fans, and this is going to be very important for our business as we consider it as a key success factor to build a strong business. And now the last slide, our team. Very quickly, I'm the CEO, I studied international management, I have 2 years experience with Rocket Internet, namely in one startup which was also a marketplace, so I have marketplace experience. And Thiago is our CTO, he studied computer science in California, and he has more than 12 years of experience in technology in Silicon Valley, New York, and São Paulo. We also have 2 photographers helping us out on the project. And they are basically our innovative or creative team. And that's it. Thank you very much, and I'm now open to all your questions and doubts.
Nice presentation, well formatted. The only element presentation-wise would be it was difficult sometimes to read a lot of the numbers, so I was looking at financial projections, and it was difficult to see because just the way you formatted the slides. So those things need to come forward. So what a lot of investors want to see is not only your business idea, but the numbers behind it, and how it all works. And then secondarily, I think the business is small. I mean, the fact that we're projecting revenues of $1.5 million in year 5 makes it just a little bit difficult.
Sorry, could you repeat again, please?
I'm sorry?
Could you repeat again, please? I didn't understand quite well what you said.
So the size of the business was a little small for us to get excited about, and so we'd like to see projections typically 10 times that or even 20 times that, something that where you would want to spend the energy to cross the border. It's a good lifestyle business for the most part, and $1.5 million, and you can support yourself and your family and your friends, but really beyond that, you need to think big, think larger, think about a larger market. Right now, you're focused on professional photography, and so maybe you expand that to professionals, pro amateurs, try to get down market, try to figure out how to grow bigger at that level.
Okay. These projections I showed were basically what we could get with the capital needs I mentioned, and only in the Brazilian market. So, of course, we want to scale as soon as possible, and we already built the site in 2 different languages, both in Portuguese and in English. So we want to get to the US as soon as possible. But to achieve those numbers and the 7-digit numbers that you were mentioning, we would need to raise more capital. So these projections I showed were only for the Brazilian market. Of course, we would need to raise a little bit more money in case we want to enter the US market. And if we do, then as I said, once it is 5 to 6 times bigger than the Brazilian one, we could get to the 7 digits number that you're talking about.
Is it possible for you to enter the US market from Brazil, or do you need to physically be there?
In an initial phase, we can enter from Brazil. We start with the individual clients, just use the platform and just use SEO, SEM, display advertising to get to the individual clients. But of course, once we want to scale, basically to test the US market, but once we want to scale in the US market, we would have to build a sales team over there and to go after the corporate clients, which is where the big money is.
Cool.
Can I ask just 2 few questions?
Sure.
What is your assumption in terms of market share in Brazil, US at your 3 to 5? And what piece of the market do you think you're getting?
So this number I gave you over the 5th year of our startup basically is a very small assumption. It's a 1% market share. I didn't want to scare because if we want to go for more, we will need more capital for our cash flow. But I didn't want to start with the big capital needs. I just wanted, and this is only 1%. So of course, if we want to get 10% and get to the 10 million, we would need to raise more money.
Okay, so and that's my second question. Your assumptions around customer acquisition are all based on capturing them using search words, and the cost of $26 to $40 per individual is just too much. I mean, the investor here will look at that and go, like, you want 10 million customers, that's 10 million times $26. So you have to make the argument, and you have to do the product in such a way that it's more viral. Look at Dropbox as an example, where they give away that it's your customers and your champions working for you to break down that cost of customer acquisition. Mm-hmm. So I would stay away from the story of using. You have to find another way to more cheaply acquire customers. And actually, one of the problem, I see this a lot, and I really appreciate you being honest. Mm-hmm. And you're saying we think we can get this, but it's a $6, $7, $8, $10 billion market, and it might be bigger depending on if you go pro-am or not. That's something you have to look at. But it's a big market, and if you're not prepared to say to professional investors, look, we're going to go and get 10% of this market, or 20%, and we're going to go dominate at 50%, then they're just not going to be interested. Okay. So you need to tell the story bigger. If you guys were successful and really captured a place in this market, you'd be much bigger than what you're saying. Mm-hmm. So don't be afraid to say no. You know, year 5, we think we're at 30 million to 50 million. That's kind of what it takes. Okay. And I think the market that you're talking about here could support those numbers. So that would be the biggest thing I would change in your pitch.
Okay, perfect.
You're saying yourself well about this. Sorry, I don't mean to be negative.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome feedback. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys. Time